money, and sheer spectacle. There are two names that will almost always dominate the conversation: MrBeast Jimmy Donaldson and Logan Paul. These two creators have redefined what it means to be a YouTuber, pushing boundaries not only in content creation, but also in business, marketing, and global influence. The question, who does it bigger, isn't just about numbers. It's about ambition, vision, execution, and the legacy each of them is building. To compare these two titans of the online world, we have to dig deep into their backgrounds, their rise to fame, their unique approaches, their business empires, controversies, and the sheer scale of their projects. The answer may not be as simple as looking at subscriber counts or bank balances, because doing it bigger means something more complex in the 21st century creator economy. Jimmy Donaldson, known to billions as MrBeast, didn't just become famous overnight. Born in 1998 in Greenville, North Carolina, he began uploading videos to YouTube at just 13 years old, under the username MrBeast6000. His early content ranged from gameplay videos to random challenges, but even then, there was a spark of creativity that hinted at what was to come. The turning point for MrBeast came when he started uploading videos of himself doing bizarre, endurance-based stunts, such as counting to 100,000 in a single video, or reading every word in the dictionary. It was this blend of dedication, absurdity, and originality that began to set him apart from thousands of other hopeful YouTubers. The real magic, however, happened when he started investing every dollar he made back into his videos, turning modest challenges into massive cash giveaways and over-the-top stunts. Over time, his brand became synonymous with generosity, spectacle, and an almost superhuman commitment to going bigger every single time. Logan Paul, on the other hand, came from a completely different entry point into fame. Born in 1995 in Ohio, Logan first gained popularity on Vine, the now-defunct short-form video platform. His energetic, comedic style, combined with a knack for creating viral content, quickly made him one of Vine's top stars. When Vine shut down in 2017, Logan seamlessly transitioned to YouTube, bringing with him a huge fanbase and a new vision for longer, more elaborate content. At first, Logan was all about high-energy vlogs, pranks, and extreme stunts, a chaotic and wild approach that appealed to a young, thrill-seeking audience. Over time, though, Logan began to evolve his content strategy, moving into high-production projects, podcasts, and eventually, the professional boxing ring. While MrBeast's brand is built around giving away money and building epic experiences, Logan's is based on being the ultimate entertainer and provocateur, someone who thrives on staying in the spotlight, no matter the medium. When you think about internet fame, when comparing the two, one of the biggest differences lies in their relationship with money and scale. MrBeast reinvests an extraordinary percentage of his earnings directly into his videos. If he makes $5 million from 1 month's ad revenue and brand deals, a significant portion might go straight into funding a project that costs just as much. His philosophy is simple: the bigger the stunt, the more viral the video, and the more the cycle repeats. This strategy has led to some of the most outrageous YouTube productions ever seen: recreating Squid Game with 456 contestants and a $456,000 grand prize, giving away entire islands, hosting massive treasure hunts, and planting millions of trees as part of the Team Trees environmental initiative. MrBeast doesn't just make videos. He orchestrates events that could be full-scale television productions, often outshining even the biggest network shows in scale and reach. Logan Paul approaches scale differently. While MrBeast focuses on reinvesting into his content, Logan uses his platform to build long-lasting businesses and cross into other industries. His biggest non-YouTube venture so far has been Prime, the hydration drink he co-created with fellow YouTuber and former rival Key Z, Launched in 2022, Prime became a cultural phenomenon, selling out almost instantly in stores and generating hundreds of millions in revenue in its first year. This isn't just a side hustle, it's a globally recognized brand that has infiltrated sports sponsorships, UFC partnerships, and the shelves of supermarkets around the world. On top of Prime, Logan has built a successful podcast, Impulsive, which features high-profile guests from Hollywood, stars to controversial internet personalities, expanding his reach far beyond his original audience. And then there's his boxing career, love it or hate it. Stepping into the ring with legends like Floyd Mayweather was a move that cemented Logan as a mainstream figure outside of YouTube. Where MrBeast does it bigger is in the sheer size of his productions. Nobody, not even traditional TV networks, can match the speed and scale at which he produces multi-million-dollar spectacles. His videos are global events. The moment a new MrBeast video drops, it's instantly trending worldwide, often racking up tens of millions of views within hours. He has turned YouTube into something much closer to blockbuster cinema, where fans anticipate the release of his content the way they would a major movie premiere. His philanthropic projects, like feeding millions through his Beast Philanthropy channel or cleaning up oceans through Teamsies, aren't just PR stunts, they have tangible, real-world impacts. Where Logan does it bigger is in cultural crossover. While MrBeast dominates YouTube, Logan has managed to break into multiple entertainment and business industries simultaneously. He has fought in stadiums packed with tens of thousands of fans, sold out pay-per-view events, collaborated with celebrities across music, sports, and film, and built a physical product that people can buy and drink in their everyday lives. Logan's genius lies in making himself a household name, not just for one viral video at a time, but for being a constant presence across different sectors. Of course, both men have had controversies that shaped public opinion. Logan's infamous 2017 incident in Japan's Aokigahara forest nearly ended his career, sparking outrage worldwide. But rather than disappear, Logan slowly rebuilt his image, shifted his tone, and reinvented himself over the years. MrBeast has largely avoided major scandals, but running an empire as big as his comes with challenges, including allegations about working conditions and behind-the-scenes pressures. These moments show that doing it bigger also means managing the intense scrutiny that comes with being in the public eye at such a massive scale. Financially, it's almost impossible to pin down exact numbers because both have diversified revenue streams: ad revenue, brand deals, merchandise, product sales, investments, and more. Estimates place MrBeast's annual earnings in the tens of millions, with some years reportedly bringing in over $50 million. Logan, meanwhile, may not match MrBeast's YouTube income, but the success of Prime and other ventures could very well put him ahead in total business revenue. The influence factor is where things get tricky. MrBeast has arguably more direct influence over the YouTube ecosystem itself. His style of content has inspired an entire generation of creators to think bigger, invest more into their productions, and treat YouTube like a competitive professional industry. Logan, however, has broader influence across entertainment, sports, and business, showing that a creator can expand beyond YouTube into almost any field if they have the ambition and adaptability. Ultimately, who does it bigger depends on how you define bigger. If bigger means jaw-dropping, cinematic productions that shatter records on a single platform, MrBeast is unmatched. If bigger means creating a brand that stretches across industries, sports arenas, global product sales, and celebrity culture, Logan Paul might just take the crown. The truth is, both of them are operating at a scale that few people in history, in any medium, have achieved. They've turned internet fame into something much more substantial, something closer to empire building. In the end, perhaps the real answer is that the internet is big enough for both of them to do it bigger in their own way. MrBeast is building the world's most spectacular digital show. Logan Paul is building a multi-platform entertainment empire, and both are still just getting started. While the world debates who is truly the king of going bigger, it's impossible to ignore the way both MrBeast and Logan Paul have transformed from simple online entertainers into global business forces. What they share is a relentless drive to outdo themselves, to keep finding ways to surprise audiences, and to turn every moment into a statement of scale. But their execution is like night and day. MrBeast's career is a case study in obsessive focus. He doesn't just want to make videos. He wants to make the biggest video ever seen on the platform. His team operates like a Hollywood studio, with writers, set designers, camera crews, editors, and logistics managers all working together on a single upload. Unlike traditional entertainment, where a film might take years to produce, MrBeast can turn around a multi-million-dollar production in weeks or months, leveraging speed as his secret weapon. And when it comes to scale, his philosophy is simple. Each video should be bigger than the last. This strategy not only keeps his audience hooked, but also forces competitors to rethink what's possible on YouTube. But Logan Paul's model thrives on adaptability. He's not locked into a single medium. He can pivot instantly if he sees a better opportunity. When Vine collapsed, Logan didn't disappear into obscurity like many others from that platform. Instead, he jumped to YouTube and rebranded himself almost overnight. When controversies hit, he recalibrated and shifted focus to areas like podcasting and boxing. And when the sports drink market presented an opening, he dove in with Prime, creating one of the fastest growing beverage brands of the decade. In Logan's world, doing it bigger means owning multiple stages: YouTube, boxing arenas, business boardrooms, podcast charts, all at the same time. One of the fascinating contrasts is how each measures success. For MrBeast, success is viewership dominance. He obsesses over metrics like watch time, click-through rate, and audience retention. His ability to engineer a thumbnail and title that almost guarantees tens of millions of clicks is unmatched. To him, the ultimate win is to release a video that instantly trends worldwide, gains 100 million views in days, and creates a ripple effect across the internet. For Logan Paul, success is about cultural penetration. If his name is being discussed in mainstream sports shows, business magazines, and social media trends all at once, that's a victory. He doesn't need every YouTube video to hit 100 million views, because he knows his brand lives beyond the platform. That's why you might see Logan trending for a boxing fight while simultaneously being part of a WWE storyline and having Prime banners plastered across a UFC event. The financial strategies behind their empires also differ. MrBeast treats YouTube like a high-risk, high-return reinvestment machine. The money he makes gets funneled back into production at such an aggressive rate that he's publicly admitted he could go broke if ad revenue and sponsorships stopped tomorrow. This might sound reckless, but it's also part of what makes his content so magnetic. Audiences see that he's willing to risk everything to make something extraordinary. Logan's financial model is more diversified. Prime alone has likely generated hundreds of millions in sales, and his WWE and boxing contracts bring in significant paydays. Merchandise, sponsorships, podcast ads, and brand licensing deals all contribute to a portfolio that is less dependent on one platform's algorithm. While MrBeast is tied tightly to YouTube's infrastructure, Logan has spread his bets across multiple industries, reducing the risk of a single point of failure. And yet, despite these differences, both share an understanding of one thing: spectacle sells. Whether it's MrBeast building a Willy Wonka chocolate factory or Logan fighting a boxing legend like Floyd Mayweather, both understand that in the attention economy, you have to make people stop scrolling, and to make them stop, you have to make it big. The fan dynamics between the two are also revealing. MrBeast has cultivated an image of being universally likable, almost controversy-proof, and family-friendly despite the massive amounts of money and extreme challenges involved in his content. Parents are comfortable letting kids watch his videos, which expands his audience base enormously. Logan Paul, meanwhile, has leaned into a more polarizing persona. He thrives on having both fans and haters, because he understands that in the modern entertainment landscape, controversy can be just as valuable as praise. Every critic, every skeptic, and every angry tweet adds to the hype machine. And so the question remains, who truly does it bigger? If you measure in terms of internet spectacle, MrBeast's dominance is hard to argue with. But if you measure in terms of cross-industry brand impact, Logan Paul's reach is equally impressive. Perhaps the truth is that they are playing two different games with equally massive stakes, and each is the undisputed giant of their chosen playing field. Both MrBeast and Logan Paul are obsessed with the art of scale, but the way they get there is what makes their rivalry so fascinating. They're not competing in the same lane, yet they both dominate in ways that make them global icons. And the truth is, neither one is satisfied with their current level of success. Every move they make is calculated to ensure the next one is even bigger. For MrBeast, scale is about control over the YouTube universe. He's openly studied the platform's algorithm for years, dissecting everything from thumbnail colors to pacing, learning exactly how to keep viewers watching for as long as possible. His editing style is relentless. No wasted seconds, constant action, bright visuals, rapid narration, and emotional hooks that keep people glued to the screen. And because of this obsessive formula, his videos often snowball in popularity, racking up hundreds of millions of views without needing traditional marketing. In the world of online content, that kind of organic dominance is the ultimate superpower. Logan Paul's version of scale is rooted in mainstream crossover. He's made himself visible in circles far beyond YouTube, stepping into the WWE ring to pull off acrobatic stunts that stun live audiences, signing boxing deals that turn into multi-million-dollar spectacles, and running a podcast that regularly features high-profile guests from politics, sports, and entertainment. This diversification means Logan's face shows up in places where MrBeast's content might never appear, not because one is better than the other, but because Logan's brand strategy is built on being everywhere at once. One of the clearest differences between the two lies in the way they interact with their audiences. MrBeast treats his viewers like participants in a global game, a never-ending series of challenges, giveaways, and world records. There's an almost fairy tale quality to his videos. Ordinary people being lifted into extraordinary situations, life-changing amounts of money being handed out, and grand-scale constructions, like full-size recreations of movie sets. Viewers don't just watch, they fantasize about what it would be like to be chosen for one of his challenges. Logan, on the other hand, builds his audience relationship on personality and lifestyle. His fans don't just watch for the spectacle, they watch because they feel like they know him. They've followed his life through vlogs, controversies, apologies, reinventions, and triumphs. They've seen him fail in public and bounce back stronger, which has created a loyalty that feels different from MrBeast's broader appeal. Logan's brand is more personal, more tied to his image and physical presence. When it comes to raw production budgets, MrBeast plays in a league of his own. While Logan might invest heavily into a boxing camp, a WWE performance, or a Prime commercial, MrBeast's average video can cost millions. This is partly because his giveaways aren't fake. If he promises $100,000, someone is walking away with $100,000. And then there's the cost of the elaborate sets, the massive crews, and the logistical nightmares that come with pulling off stunts, like giving away an entire island or constructing a massive chocolate factory just to recreate a fictional universe. But Logan invests differently. His biggest plays are designed to generate long-term value. Prime isn't just a product, it's a brand with the potential to last decades. The value of having a beverage stocked in major retailers worldwide isn't just in the sales, but in the constant brand visibility. Every bottle of Prime on a shelf is free advertising, and every sports sponsorship is another way to keep his name in the public consciousness without having to upload a video. The question of influence is tricky because they influence different worlds. MrBeast has reshaped how YouTube works both for creators and for viewers. He set the gold standard for scale on the platform, and other YouTubers are now judged by whether they can create something beast level. Logan, meanwhile, has influenced how internet personalities can break into industries that once seemed impossible to penetrate. He's proof that a YouTuber can headline a boxing event against a world champion or perform on the same stage as WWE's biggest stars without being dismissed as a gimmick. Then there's the matter of global reach. MrBeast's content is now being dubbed in multiple languages, giving him a truly international audience. He said openly that his goal is to be the most watched YouTuber in the world, not just in English-speaking countries, but everywhere. This approach mirrors how Hollywood films are localized for global audiences, and it's another example of him thinking beyond what most YouTubers ever consider. Logan's global reach comes more through cultural moments than localized content. His fights have been broadcast worldwide. His Prime drink is available in multiple continents, and his WWE appearances have been watched by fans across every major market. He's not just targeting viewership, he's targeting physical presence in the world's most visible arenas. The fascinating thing about this comparison is that they're both still in their 20s. MrBeast is barely past 25, and Logan is still under 30. If they're operating at this scale now, the ceiling for both is almost impossible to imagine. A decade from now, MrBeast could be running a streaming platform or even producing feature films under his own studio banner. Logan could be headlining global sports, entertainment tours, or turning Prime into a multi-billion-dollar company that rivals Coca-Cola. If doing it bigger means dominating a single platform with unmatched consistency, the answer leans toward MrBeast. If it means building a multi-industry empire that spans entertainment, sports, and retail, Logan Paul's case is just as strong. In reality, the question might be flawed because what we're watching isn't a competition. It's two parallel empires rising at the same time, each proving that the internet is no longer just a place for small creators to get lucky. It's a launchpad for the next generation of global moguls. As the worlds of entertainment, sports, and online media continue to evolve, the legacies of MrBeast and Logan Paul are already being written in ways that go beyond the usual metrics of views, likes, and followers. Both have secured their place in digital history, but the story isn't over. In fact, for both men, it feels like they're only in the opening chapters of their careers. The way they approach their next decade will likely define not only their personal brands, but also the future expectations for creators who dream of following in their footsteps. For MrBeast, the road ahead seems both limitless and dangerous. His ability to continuously scale up his productions is thrilling to watch, but it comes with constant pressure. Every time he breaks his own record, the audience silently demands, "What's next?" That kind of creative and financial escalation can burn out even the most passionate person. Yet, so far, he's shown no sign of slowing down. His expansion into multiple international languages is proof that he's thinking beyond the typical American YouTuber's audience. The moment his videos in Hindi, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, and other languages start pulling numbers close to his main English channel, he could potentially reach billions of views per upload. That's not an exaggeration. That's the mathematical possibility. When you take already viral content and open it to entirely new markets at the same time. Beyond content, MrBeast's philanthropic work positions him as more than just an entertainer. With projects like Beast, philanthropy, and massive charity campaigns like Team Trees and Teamsies, he's embedding himself into the cultural narrative as a positive force. For every critic who might call his giveaways a stunt, there are real people whose lives have been changed by his work. People who've had life-saving surgeries paid for, received houses, or gotten scholarships. If he maintains that balance between entertainment and genuine charity, he could end up with a legacy that rivals major humanitarian figures. But with the reach and relatability of a modern internet celebrity, Logan Paul's path is equally compelling. Though built on entirely different foundations, his career has been defined by reinvention. From Vine star to YouTube vlogger, from scandal to comeback, from podcaster to professional boxer, from entertainer to entrepreneur, he has repeatedly proven his ability to pivot and thrive in different industries. The launch and explosive growth of Prime is arguably his single biggest business move so far, and its success has redefined what's possible for creator-led product lines. Instead of a temporary merchandise trend, Prime is positioned as a mainstream staple, something that could survive long after Logan steps away from the spotlight. Logan's continued presence in the WWE and combat sports world keeps his brand tied to spectacle in a physical, visceral way. When he performs in front of live audiences of tens of thousands and televised audiences in the millions, he taps into a form of entertainment that is older than the internet itself. This crossover into legacy industries, like sports entertainment, ensures his influence isn't confined to algorithms or online trends. It also helps him build credibility outside of YouTube, proving that a creator can go toe-to-toe with traditional celebrities and still win over mainstream audiences. In terms of pure bigness, the future may hold even more outrageous moves from both. It's not hard to imagine MrBeast creating a reality show streamed to a global audience, or hosting real-world mega events with thousands of participants in person and millions watching online. His ability to turn any idea into a media spectacle means he could rival major television networks without ever needing to sign with one. For Logan, the next frontier might be turning Prime into a billion-dollar brand that dominates the sports drink market. His ambition to be part of headline-making events won't fade. Whether it's stepping back into a high-profile boxing match, pulling off another viral WWE stunt, or collaborating with massive entertainment franchises, Logan will continue to insert himself into the biggest conversations in sports and pop culture. And then there's the question of longevity. MrBeast's content model relies heavily on spectacle, which inherently has to keep getting more impressive to stay relevant. If he can find ways to scale while also creating evergreen content that doesn't require constant one-upping, he could solidify himself as not just the biggest YouTuber now, but the most enduring one. Logan's brand, built on personality, reinvention, and business ventures, may prove more sustainable in the long run, allowing him to shift focus without losing influence when trends change. But perhaps the biggest takeaway from the "who does it bigger" debate is that both have fundamentally changed what the term influencer even means. They've shattered the old image of a creator being someone who just makes videos for fun. Today, thanks in part to their work, being a creator can mean running a global company, headlining international events, making multi-million-dollar business deals, and reaching audiences that rival traditional media giants. They've shown that the internet isn't just an alternative to Hollywood or sports, it's an equal, and in some cases, an even bigger playing field. In the end, the question might not be, who does it bigger now, but who will do it bigger in the end? The scoreboard today could change tomorrow. MrBeast could launch a project that instantly redefines what we think is possible on the internet. Logan could sign a partnership or headline an event that takes his influence to another level. Both of them have proven they can adapt, they can scale, and they can capture attention like few others in history. So maybe the real answer is this: MrBeast does it bigger in the digital realm, creating spectacles that live forever on the internet, and setting records for online reach. Logan Paul does it bigger in the cultural realm, inserting himself into global conversations, across industries and building a brand that exists everywhere. From store shelves to stadiums, both of them are playing the game at a level that no one else has reached. And both are rewriting the rulebook as they go. And as long as they keep pushing themselves and each other, the only guarantee is that bigger will keep getting redefined again and again in ways we can't even imagine yet. The cameras will keep rolling, the lights will keep flashing, and somewhere in the world, a fan will be watching wondering what these two will do next to top it all. In that sense, they've already both won, because the biggest thing they've built is not just their own empires, but the belief that no dream, no idea, and no stunt is ever too big to try.